Hey everyone, Maestro here. I am the football enthusiast. I hope you guys are doing well. Welcome to the video. This is the weekly roundup. The date is, let me just check, sorry, the 13th of March 2023. This is the series where I kind of just go through the week that we just had, the week of football, and also talk about, just give my thoughts on the week and also talk about the week to come. So firstly, I want to quickly get out of the way Europe, specifically the Europa League. Berlin, this all kind of typical results. Surprising ones maybe is Berlin drawing against Saint Gilloise. I probably butchered their name. I apologize. That they are a Belgian team. Never saw this coming. Berlin have been in fine form in Germany, and you kind of expect them to get a good, clean 2-3-0 win. But it's a great game, good draw. They were in the lead 3 times, Saint Gilloise, so they probably feel kind of hard done by the fact that they didn't clutch it out and get the win. But that's a great result for them. Interesting to see how that tie turns out. We move on, essentially, typical results. Fixtures, I mean, Juventus seems still a bit shaky, but a good 1-0 win against Freiburg. Most fixtures here you think are done. I'd say that the Leverkusen fixture is done. I'd say the United one is done. Sevilla's one is done, and even Juventus, I think they'll all go through. The ones Sporting Arsenal. So, as an Arsenal fan, I'm okay with this, considering we didn't play our full team. I do want to mention I didn't like. We have a new signing, which is Jakub Kiwior. Probably butchered his name as well. I don't think he played well. It wasn't a good first appearance for him, but that's okay. You know, it's his first game. We'll see how. I'm so interested to see how he will play when he gets more game time. Another talking point for me is Saka playing far too much. He needs to rest. He looked absolutely shattered in this game. But yeah, that's kind of, it's a 2-2 draw. Not bad. Take to the Emirates and they should finish it out. So let's move on to the Champions League real quick. So we'll talk about what's coming at the end, but in terms of what just happened, typical results, no surprises for me. Maybe Tottenham, I would say, is the only surprise. 0-0 flat, not a single goal in the away or home fixture. They were kind of just dreadful in general, and there are huge talking points about Harry Kane, which I do plan on making a video on, if he should go, if he should leave, etc., what he should do. Benfica with a dominant performance, the crushed Club Brugge. Graham Potter, I believe, he's finally done it. You know, I believe they don't have many goals or many wins to talk about since the whole January window ended, but good performance here. I feel like I thought Dortmund could have really gotten something out of this game, just a few changes, but ultimately they were pretty poor and they didn't take their chances. But I think Chelsea with a good performance, not great, a good one, and a warranted 2-0 win, and they go through. I already spoke about the Bayern Munich PSG games. You guys know how I feel about this if you've been watching before. If you haven't, you can check my channel. You can see my past videos. Essentially, the talking point is essentially Mbappe, Messi, and PSG in general. And the issues, like I said before, I'll just say it quickly right now. Their midfield is absolutely dreadful. I do still believe in Mbappe and Messi. I still do 100% believe that those two are the 2 best players in the world, but essentially what they have behind them is just not good enough. Now, of course, Messi and Mbappe aren't above criticism. They definitely played bad. I'm not saying they didn't, but if they had Kimmich or Goretzka in their team, I think they win this fixture. So, yeah, there's problems at PSG that they need to work on, and if they just point fingers at the stars, at Mbappe, and especially at Messi, nothing's going to happen. They need to seriously think through this and kind of just understand that the big names aren't enough. You can't just splash the cash on 3 of the Neymar, Messi, and Mbappe, 3 of the 5 best players in the world, and just expect, you know what, they'll carry it for us. No, you need more. You need more depth. You need a more balanced team, and they do not have that, whilst Bayern have that in abundance. So typical. Didn't expect anything more than that. So let's move on to the actual topics of today's video. So firstly, I want to talk about the title race in the Premiership. So Arsenal's best performance since the World Cup, easily, absolutely fantastic, especially in the first half. Second half was kind of cruise control. Fulham did have some pushback, and credit to them, but never a point where they weren't going to win. Trossard has, I mean, look, Arteta has done it again. He does not miss with his signings. I spoke about, Kiwior, it was just one game, but ultimately, the reason why I think Kiwior will turn out well is because Arteta does not miss with his signings, like with Trossard. He was sensational. And as a whole, like I said before, yeah, their best performance since the World Cup. Commanding, beautiful, prime Wenger-esque type of football. Even to the point where I'm kind of disappointed it's only 3-0. I wanted more, 4, 5, 6, but still, amazing performance. And two things to mention, I think. Saka played his worst game in a while. He is knackered. I said this before, say again, he is far too tired. I'm glad he got taken off in the 70th minute, I believe it was 72nd minute by Arteta. Let me just check that to be sure. Yes, 72nd minute by Arteta. But he needs more rest, and I hope he does come back. He lost the ball, I believe, 15 times in that game. That's just not good enough. But listen, it's Saka. He's the star boy of Arsenal. Pretty sure give him a bit of rest, he'll come back strong and continue the way he's been playing this season. Another mention is for Odegaard. Look, I don't know. I believe the player of the season is Erling Haaland. I don't. It's hard for me to overlook his impact on terms of how many goals he's scored. And of course, look, I'm the type of football fan that always looks past goals. But there's a point where it's just you can't ignore it anymore. And I think we're at that point with Haaland. He just has so many goals that I can't ignore that and say he's not the player of the year. But Odegaard for me is second. He's been unbelievable, tremendous. The amount of bad games he's had this season, 2 or 3, but as a whole, he's been fantastic all the way through. And I love watching him play football. And another thing I want to mention, with this whole title race, it's fantastic for us. I love the fact that we're in a title race, I can't believe it. But I'm also just so happy that we are a very, very beautiful side. We play beautiful football, and it's extremely fun to watch. I'm glad we're back to that era at least, because with Wenger getting top 4 every year, not winning the title, it sucked, but it was also, we were a very entertaining side to watch. We played beautiful football. Yes, we never had the edge to take it to the next step, but we were still a very much enjoyable team to watch. It was Wenger ball, and it was fun to watch. And against Fulham, we saw prime Wenger ball. Other half of the race, Man City get away with one. Look, City well deserve the winners 100%. I'm not saying they're lucky. I do want to mention Olise Michael Olise is on the hit list for all Arsenal fans right now. If you don't know already, he gave away a penalty to Haaland, to City. That's how they got their goal. And if you look at Olise's challenge, you walk away from it thinking, what is he thinking? He comes in rushing at Gundogan and just clips him on the leg easily. It's a penalty. 100% it's a penalty. It's an easy penalty. Patrick Vieira was quoted saying it was stupid. And it was stupid. I don't know what he was thinking. He looked hyper, ready to go, and just kind of went over the top. And yeah, listen, and these games will come. It sucks for Arsenal fans because you kind of want more of a gap, but it is, and it's important for City. Very emotional post-match reaction from the City players. They looked very pumped up. Haaland was going crazy. Good win. Rodri ran the match deservedly, so he's fantastic. He's just a great footballer, isn't he? Little notes I want to talk about is Kevin De Bruyne. I want to start by saying this. Kevin De Bruyne is the best player in the Premier League. Now, let me continue. So, I don't go off form. Look, off form, in terms of the PFA Player of the Year, here are the players that would finish ahead of him. Haaland, Odegaard, Saka, Rashford, Casemiro, and there's others, not many others, but there are others, and I get that, but I'm not a guy that kind of focuses on form and only form. I do kind of just appreciate class more than form, and De Bruyne is still the best player in the league. I still stand by that 100%. And there has been a lot of criticism lately because there's a comparison with him and Odegaard, and how Odegaard has been much better, and De Bruyne seemingly is not his same self. I thought he started the season very, very well. Around 15 games in, 12 to 15 games in, I heard, Arsenal fans were saying maybe Odegaard was player of the year even back then, but no, I thought De Bruyne was still absolutely sensational. Let me just pause this. Sorry about that. I still thought De Bruyne was absolutely sensational, and okay, I don't know what the fuck is. Just ignore this. Sorry. Yeah, I thought De Bruyne was absolutely sensational at the start of the season. These 12 assists mainly came at the start, and I wasn't heavy on his criticism, but as the season has gone on now, I have to say he has been below par, and it is noteworthy because it kind of translates to why maybe this is why they're playing so bad. Because City themselves aren't the same City of last year. They're not playing bad; they're just not playing as good as they were last year, and it says something that Kevin De Bruyne himself isn't playing bad. It kind of correlates with each other. So it is a worry. Is it a huge worry? No, of course he's De Bruyne. I'm sure he'll bring it back. I'm sure he'll revert to his best self and kind of be the amazing world class, essentially all-timer player he is. And yeah, but big win for City. The race still goes on. We're still where we are from before, and I'm very happy with Arsenal. And City, still not back. Still not that performance where they destroy teams 6-7-0. Where you can win a game 1-0, but they also seemed a bit without any passion or without any critical thinking in the final third. And it seems to still be an issue, but we'll see as we go on. Moving on to United Southampton. This is a very boring game, and I don't really have much to talk about except one thing: the red card. Casemiro got red card in the 34th minute. And before we talk about the red card, I want to talk about Southampton first of all. I was watching Arsenal for most of the time, but I had United on the second screen. And when it was 3-0 to Arsenal, I mainly then started focusing on United, and I was watching United Southampton. United got a bit unlucky. So if Casemiro doesn't get a red card, I think United win this game 3-4-0. Southampton were absolutely terrible. I completely understand why they are where they are. They really, really dodged a bullet here with Casemiro's act. This foul, they really, really dodged a bullet here. The Southampton manager after the game said that the result would have been the same without the red card. You're having a laugh. You're having a laugh. You were dreadful. Every pass you guys made was terrible. You were passive. Your players weren't even running that much. I stand by what I just said. They would have lost 3-4-0 in the next 60 minutes of that game if Casemiro hadn't been red carded. They were terrible, and they got away with one. Now let's talk about the red card. So I have here a picture. So sorry for the fuzziness, but I don't want to get a picture where I get like a copyright issue. But so essentially, this is it. This is the content, right? If you look at my cursor, that's where it is. Now, if you see the red card with the video in full, Casemiro comes in and he does kind of lose control. He's in the air with his foot, but the ball, he's going for the ball. He hits the top of the ball and his foot slides off the ball onto the Southampton player's ankle. Now, here's the thing. It's unlucky. Yes, it is unlucky. But in that scenario, I think it's a 50-50. I think you then give the referee a chance to give you a red card. Some other referees would have given a yellow, some a red card. It would have gone either way. And for United, it was unfortunate, but it's a red. And can they complain? Yes and no, because yes, they can complain because from what I understand, Andre Mariner, he wasn't the referee of the match, but he was the VAR official. He was working VAR for Chelsea against Leeds yesterday. Not yesterday, the day before the United game. And there were 3 other incidents during that game in which a red card could very much have been warranted, and it was much worse in the Casemiro situation today. And with all three, he did not tell the referee to come check VAR. He let it go. But with this one situation at United, with Casemiro, he made sure to let the referee know this could be a red, go check it out. So they can be, United fans can complain that, come on, Leeds got away with 3, why can't we get away with 1? So that sucks. But ultimately, just because Mariner made that mistake 3 times before is an excuse why he should make it again. He fucked, I don't want to swear, sorry about that. He effed up against Chelsea versus Leeds. And I guess I don't think he's effed up now. I think he should tell the referee to come check it and to make his decision with another 2 or 3 looks. So they can't complain with Casemiro was a bit reckless there. It sucks because, like I said before, they definitely would have won that game. Southampton were absolutely awful, just terrible. I think Prowse played good and Walker Peters played good, but that's it. The rest were just as bad as I mean, they really do belong in a relegation fight. No offense, they really do belong in a relegation battle. So yeah, it's unfortunate for United, but it is what it is. And he does now miss 4 games. 4 games. Now, if you don't know, usually a straight red means you miss 3 games, but because this is his second straight red, he misses 4 games. Now, I'm not entirely sure, but I'm pretty sure these 4 games, they span over English domestic competitions, which includes the FA Cup. So he'll probably miss United Fulham home, Newcastle away, United Brentford home, and then United Everton home. Now, all of this, he should play in the Europa League because it's not English competition. I'm pretty sure he'll be available. Brighton was postponed, so don't worry about that. Now, looking at this, it's good for United that 3 of the 4 games he's missing will be at home. That's good. An issue, Newcastle away is one of the hardest places to go this season, and he will be out. If you're asking me, he's their best player. So that's an issue. When he first got a red card, which was against Crystal Palace, without him, they drew against Leeds, then they beat Leeds, then they beat United. So they coped well without him in the first. They beat Leicester. So they coped well without him before, so they can do it again. They have it in them. Casemiro is their best player, and he has transformed them. But it's actually, I want to go back on that. He hasn't transformed them. He's been a piece to the puzzle. Ten Hag has transformed them, and he's capable of I think they can win all 4 of these games without Casemiro. It will be difficult, especially at Newcastle. But it's not, at least they're not playing Chelsea or Tottenham or, wait, is that it? That's the only big teams that they have left. Yeah, at least they're not playing those top teams without Casemiro. So that's good for them. And in terms of the title race, look, I never really thought they were in a title race to begin with. They are now currently 16 points away from Arsenal, with a game in hand, so let's just say it's 13. But I never thought they were in a title race, but this kind of confirms. I don't see them kind of bridging that gap. And it is what it is. But yeah, unfortunate for United, because this was an easy win for me. I really thought they could have won easily, but it is what it is, and we move on. So let's move on to the team that they were the team that absolutely destroyed United. So Liverpool, with United, they responded to their 7-0 loss with a great 4-1 win against Betis. And yes, they drew against Southampton, but it was very unfortunate, very unlucky. But Liverpool wins 7-0, and they are now in pole position for top 4. We all know this. I as well think this. The top 4, look, it's of course Arsenal, City will be in there. United definitely will be in there. And 4th place, Tottenham, Liverpool, Newcastle. It's kind of 3 teams. Maybe Chelsea could creep in, but probably not. That's kind of where we're looking at. And after the 7-0 hammering, you're thinking Liverpool and only Liverpool. And then they do this. I watched the game. They lose 1-0. for those that want an explanation as to how you can win 7-0 against United, the most informed side in the Premiership probably at the time, and then lose 1-0 against Bournemouth, who are fighting for relegation. I think because against United, it gets them revved up. It's they're rivals, They hate United and United hate them. It's a thing. You want those bragging rights. The fans care so much about that game. It gets you pumped up. It gets you fully focused because you have to play your best. Because if you don't, you will lose. And with Bournemouth, you can come into this game thinking, let's just play. We don't need to be our best. It's Bournemouth, we're Liverpool. We can be calm, relaxed. And they essentially may be a bit too calm, a bit too relaxed. And in these situations, teams like Bournemouth, who are up for it, running always and fighting for their lives, they can smell blood and they can damage you. And this is what they did. They really swarmed Liverpool. No time on the ball. The midfield got absolutely dominated. And made it very uncomfortable for the defense. And their goal came from a mistake from the defense, from Van Dijk and Konate. So they really went at Liverpool and deservedly won the game. Liverpool we reverted back to how they were, flat, no creativity, nothing. Nothing from Nunes. Salah was terrible. The penalty miss was dreadful. I thought Gakpo did a few things well, but ultimately not good enough. Harvey Elliott was very, very poor. As a whole, a bad performance. And look, do I think... I don't want to be a flip-flop. I still think they will get top 4, but I mean, this has to be hammered out of their game. Because this whole Liverpool situation is crazy. The only players missing from those title-winning sides of when they won the Champions League and when they won the Premier League, it's Mane and Wijnaldum. The other players, okay, look, they've gone older and age, time is undefeated, yes, but the mindset should be there, and it's just not, seemingly. It's not there. But look, Liverpool need to kind of stay head down, focus, grind, get that top 4, and then next season build something from that, and then go for the league title again. But from what we've seen, it's just, I mean, as a Liverpool fan, you must just be shaking your head. You just feel like you've just been beaten, and it sucks for them, especially after that amazing, historic win. But look, go again. Bad performance, but they need to go again. So that's kind of the week. That's kind of the things I want to talk about the most. Now let's talk about the Champions League and what's to come. First, mostly the Champions League, of course. Porto Inter. I don't really care about the fixture. I do want to talk about mainly about 2 fixtures. City Leipzig. So this game ended 1-1 at Leipzig, and do I think an upset is on the cards? Yes, I do. If City were to lose the Premiership to Arsenal, that's bad, because their team is worth much more. They have much better players, much better system going on. They should not be losing the Premiership to Arsenal. But if that was to happen and they were to win the Champions League, all of that is erased. City fans will call this their best season ever because that's what they want. City are in the same boat as, I'd say, PSG, where the league title, it's great, but it's the Champions League that's the holy grail that these clubs want more than anything. It's the one they haven't won. And City face themselves. Look, Leipzig are a good team, very balanced, and a very balanced squad with a good defense and a good coach that can do something. If City play like they have for most of the season, then yes, I definitely can see Leipzig having a great result. But my prediction, I'm gonna go with 3-0 City. I think this is the game where they will all be focused, because they all very much know what's at stake here, and they know what is City's main priority this season. It's the Champions League, of course. So I'm thinking 3-0, and I don't think we'll see an upset. I definitely can see one, but I don't think we will. With City, they should be focused, they should be ready, and a clean win for them, I believe so. So the other one I'm gonna talk about is Liverpool versus Real Madrid. Now, you know what? Both these teams have not had a good season. With Real Madrid, they started strong. Ancelotti was, I believe, his first 13 games was 13 wins, was it not? It was a perfect start to the season, essentially. And what we've seen in La Liga is them start to wither away. Their recruitment has been terrible. They've hired little to no one. I believe Rudiger came in, and he's been okay, not great, but ultimately the recruitment this season has not been good enough. There hasn't been there hasn't been any fresh legs coming in. Ultimately, I think Real Madrid have kind of been suffering from that lack of a change in the squad and extra personnel, and they've had a poor season in general, and they find themselves 9 points back from Barcelona. So with La Liga, it's pretty much over. So similar with City, they should be focusing on the Champions League, of course. No, sorry, not with City. Similar with Liverpool. But here's the thing: Real Madrid gave us an amazing performance at Anfield, and it's 5-2 Real Madrid. Now, do I think ultimately the question I want to ask myself: do I think they can do it? Yes, but they won't. I mean, of course they can do it. They just beat United 7-0. It's in them. I think Liverpool have it in them to really, really go at Real Madrid and kind of be their electrifying great selves. And I also think that Real Madrid have it in them to kind of crumble. But it's just the thing with Real Madrid and this competition. They just come together very, very well. And I think they'll win this game, Real Madrid. Like 2-1, something like that. Of course, they probably should come out passive. Real Madrid just be a bit defensive, allow Liverpool to come in, soak the pressure, but after the 40th minute mark, kind of then to kind of fight back and kind of push back at Liverpool and get a few goals of their own. But yeah, that's my thoughts on the fixture. I think Liverpool if they do it, it'll be just something to behold. But with Real Madrid, when they have that badge on the left sleeve of the Champions League badge, they just turn into a different team, and I think they will overcome Liverpool again. Moving on, not really much to talk about. I believe so. Napoli Frankfurt, the first fixture ended 2-0 Napoli, and we expect a much clean 2-0 win for Napoli here again. So I think that's kind of it. So that's the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. That's the weekly roundup. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys like. If you enjoyed, please like. If you wish to see more, please subscribe. Please take care of yourselves and have a great day. Peace.